Hi, welcome back to another story time. So today I'm going to be telling you about how we got scammed out of 20,000 Ghana cedis, which back then essentially was about $2,000, right? Okay, so I have the document open here because I don't remember the specific details of everything, right? So I'll be referencing most of the things. I'm going to keep the party involved anonymous. I'm not going to mention their name. I mean, I could mention their name because I'm just stating facts, but I'm just gonna skip that. So, on the 19th of October 2023, there was a party that contacted us to have their event hosted on our platform, and their specific condition was that we pre-finance the event for them. And basically, how that works is they need to have certain things in place. They need to get certain things in place. They need to get certain things done. So they need a pre-financing to actually have the funds to do those things, right? To get the events ready. Then when the voting stage starts, people vote for their favorite contestants. We recuperate what we give to them as a pre-finance and then take our percentage from the event, which would be our profit. He reached out to us for the pre-financing. We back then we did the due diligence we felt was necessary. We met him in person. We had a contract. He signed the contract. So everything was in place, right? Okay, I even have the receipts. I still have the receipts. Interesting. Okay, I think this was the initial one. Okay, so the initial amount was for 12,000 Ghana cedis, right? So we sent him the 12,000 Ghana cedis. That was the pre-financing. After the pre-financing, he started getting things ready. He did advertisement. He actually even had an advertisement on MX24 TV, right? The TV station. So people would sign up for the event, and then people would know about the event so they can get ready and start voting and all that. Yeah, so everything was going well from the beginning. Then they started going horribly wrong. So what actually ended up happening was we already invested, right? And we wanted to see this through to the end. So, and I mean, like I said, we met with him. He seemed like a very honest person. He seemed like a genuine person. So we felt, there isn't anything wrong anywhere, right? He came back to us later, and I mean, we're staying in contact, obviously. So he came back to us and he mentioned that things weren't going well. He needed a bit more financing to handle certain things. Like there were some issues with the cameras, there were some issues with multiple things, and he needed a little bit more money to actually sort those things out. And we felt, hey, we already invested, let's just go ahead and see this through to the end. So we ended up sending an additional 4,000. So basically, we fell victim to the sunken cost fallacy, right? Because we already invested, we didn't want to have our initial investment just go to waste. I mean, in the contract we signed with him, basically, what was supposed to happen was he would have to pay us back that money. We didn't want the event to just get scrapped. Sunken cost fallacy. We said, you know what, we already invested. Let's just see this through to the end. So we gave him another 4,000 Ghana cedis to sort out whatever issues that he was facing. And then we even later added another 18,000 Ghana cedis so far. So we were like, so he was able to sort out those issues. Things started going well again. Then he came back and he was asking for more money. And at this point, we realized, okay, no, there has to be something wrong somewhere, because you asked us for the initial pre-financing. Sure, we did that. He asked us for the top up. We did that as well. And then he's come back and he's asking for another inflow of cash from us. So yeah, we felt something. I mean, we should have realized this from the very beginning. Well, maybe not from the beginning, but from the first time he came back to ask for more funds. We didn't realize it, unfortunately. So he came back the third time and he was asking for more money. We didn't really realize there was something wrong, but I had my suspicions, right? I was like, okay, there's something wrong. Like there has to be something wrong somewhere. I don't know what it is, but there has to be something wrong somewhere. He hasn't given us a reason to doubt him, but there has to be something wrong somewhere. So what I did was I did my own research. I knew the name of the competition. I knew the person's name. I knew like all those details. So I dug online. Like I basically went on every single social media platform. I searched every single keyword I could think of. And finally, I came across the specific event. So what he even did, like they have an official social media, they have official social media handles. He didn't post anything, like he posted the main competition and all on the official social media handles, but aside from that, he didn't post anything else. Then I found the contestants page, one of the contestants pages. I realized that they had started the voting. And I'm like, how can they start voting when they are not using our platform? Because even in the contract, it stated that they have to use our platform. I saw the flyer, it had the link to the platform they were using, and it was a different platform. And I went to check, and yes, in fact, they were holding the voting competition. So I realized that he had the agreement with us to use our platform for the e-voting, and he was taking money from us to that effect. Then he went to a different platform, and then he was having the voting on that platform, so that he wouldn't have to pay us for what we've given him already. And he still had the audacity to come back and ask us for more money. Oh, when I found out, I was so pissed. And I told my partners about it, and then we confronted him about it. Basically, what he was saying was that was the first part of the event, and then there will be a second part of the event where he will come and use our platform and blah 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 blah. But according to the contract we had, he was supposed to have we did know that there was going to be stages of the competition, and he was supposed to use our platform for every single stage. And his argument in response to that was that if he had used our platform, we would have taken back the money that he's supposed to pay us. And he didn't want that to happen. So he was using the other platform so that when the money comes in, he'll be able to use it for the competition. Then for the final stage of the event, we would use that to take back what he owes us and then take back our profit as well. Ah, so yeah, I mean, we ended up having a falling out. He was supposed to pay us back the money. So he said he was going to pay us back the money. Obviously, that's what he's going to say. So the deadline for him paying us back was, I think, February 2024. Right? Either January 2024 or February 2024. The time came, he didn't pay, so he was in breach of the contract. We reached out to him. He wasn't answering all our calls and all that. We tried to make it. We're trying to see if we could make it a court case, but it wouldn't be worth it because the total amount of money was basically 20,000 Ghana cedis. No, so it was 18,000 that we sent him, and then with the interest on top of that, it was 19,000 something something, but it was close to 20,000. So let's just say 20,000, right? It's a round even number. So he was supposed to pay us about 20,000. He didn't pay when the deadline came. So we're trying to make it a court case, but it wouldn't be worth it because we'd end up paying more than 20,000 to take it to court. So we'd be spending more than what we would get back if we took it to court. So it didn't make sense. We tried going to debt collection agencies, but I think for them their minimum threshold was, I think, about 40,000 Ghana cedis or so. Ours didn't even hit the exact 20,000 mark, like I just said. Yeah, it wasn't looking good. We could have gotten a lawyer to write us what was it called? Is it a request letter? I've forgotten the term, but it's basically a specific letter that you give to the person, and if the person doesn't adhere to the letter, then you can actually indeed take them to court. But I mean, yeah, that would still lead us down the court route, and it wouldn't be worth it. So at the end of the day, we just had to say, yeah, I mean, we made a mistake and we lost 20,000 Ghana cedis. Ah, that was that was the unfortunate incident. And now, basically, what we've learned from that, what we learned or what we took away from that incident is we basically don't do pre-financing anymore. It's not worth it. Like, it's not worth it to do pre-financing, especially at the stage we are at, depending on the amount of money that's involved, depending on the people you are working with. It's just not worth it to do any sort of pre-financing. Yeah, now we don't do pre-financing at all. It was a difficult lesson to learn, but hey, You live and you learn, I guess. So that's how we ended up losing 20,000 Ghana cedis. Remembering it, it's really painful to remember because I specifically really trusted the person. He seemed like a decent guy. Like he really seemed like a decent guy, and he ended up doing this to us. So yeah.